What if I told you I work for a company named American Amicable
I'm saying bullshit.
out of Waco, Texas,
Huh?
that's defrauding the government
What?
and armed services for their hard-earned money with scams and schemes?
Basically, what we're saying is this. You need to check your LES under allotments. And I know you follow me. And if you have any money going to the Central National Bank, you need to listen what we're getting ready to tell you.
Martha Stewart went to jail. She went to jail for violation of Title 18 USC, providing a false statement, and fraud. American Amicable, who are they? Central National Bank. They violated the same regulation, Title 18 USC 1001, providing a false statement to the government. The only difference is they didn't have to pay a fine. They didn't go to jail. All they had to do was pay $10 million, and they got the walk. What is providing a false statement? Well, number one, any company that falsifies, conceals, or cover up by any trick, scheme, or device a material fact. Two, makes any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation. Or, three, makes or uses any false writing or document knowing the same to contain any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 5 years, or both. This company violated those, but they got the walk. Let's take it from the beginning. The United States of America alleges that the defendant, American Amicable and Central National Bank, executed a scheme and artifact to defraud active duty members of the United States Armed Forces through the fraudulent sale of life insurance products. In violation of 18 USC 1341 and 1343, and B, made false statements to the United States Department of Defense, the United States Army, the United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps, and the United States Air Force in order to gain access to U.S. military installations and solicit life insurance leads in violation of 18 USC 1001. That's the first step in the fraud scheme. Once this company enters onto the base, then they change their name. They then become the United Armed Forces Association. No one knows that they're at that point selling life insurance. They disguise themselves in saying that they're opening up savings accounts for active duty members, when in effect, they are paying premiums on life insurance policies and money that they will never get back. Low value, high priced insurance. Now, it is the policy of the Department of Defense to safeguard their military personnel from such artifacts. So in order to gain access to them, you have to sign an on-base access letter. That's what this company did. Once they gained access and began to roam the base, they cheated hundreds of thousands of military personnel of their hard-earned dollars. Now, by mailing out hundreds of letters known as base access letters or base clearance letters to the U.S. military installations throughout the United States and overseas for the purpose of obtaining permission to engage in the sale of insurance policies on those installations, and which falsely claimed the defendant, American Amicable, would comply with all regulations governing solicitation practices. That wasn't the case. Who is American Amicable? American Amicable got its start in 1986 selling military fake, fraudulent insurance policies. They started scamming the Department of Defense and then letting them conduct illegal presentations on military installations. Also in 1986, they started conducting these illegal sales presentations to the junior military in violation of DOD Regulation 1344.7. Private solicitation on military installations. They signed a contract saying that they wouldn't violate those, but there's not hardly one regulation that they did not violate. Also in 1986, DOD wanted to help service members with their finances, so they informed the departments of the Army, Navy, Marine, and Air Force to set up financial classes. The only exception to that is that no insurance company could underwrite those classes. Coming under the guise of the United Armed Forces Association, which was really American Amicable, that's exactly what they did. They tricked the military into letting them have access to our most precious commodity, our United Armed Forces. Hundreds of thousands of military members lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. This company gained over $200 million in illegal gain profits from the illegal sale of fraudulent insurance policies, saying that they were only putting the money into a savings account for those same members. How much money did the Department of Justice recover for those same military members fighting, even in Iraq as we speak? Only $10 million. How many people did they say were affected? Only 57,000 American soldiers. General Cuppert, in his report, said that over 20,000 service members were affected monthly by this illegal scam. 20,000 a month times 12 times 7 years, that's as far back as we can go, adds up to more than 57,000 members being affected. $10 million is all that they recovered for these soldiers. That's $175 a piece, when each one of them lost over more than $1,000 each. Who is American Amicable? Who is Central National Bank? Well, we know they're from Waco, Texas, and we know that the Department of Justice has a lot of its members stationed out of Texas and in the administration. Even our president is from Texas. Responsibilities. It is the responsibility of the Assistant Secretary of Defense, Force Management, ASD, FMNP. They are responsible for developing the personal commercial solicitation activities conducted on military installations. What's that mean? That if you come onto a military installation, you have to sign a document that says that you will not fraud the military. If you violate that, you have violated exactly what the military stands for, protecting its members. At that point, it's not an argument of whose money you're stealing. It's the fact that you've represented yourself in a false way, and the government is there to protect its soldiers. In a related case, you had Academy Life, who did the exact same thing 1 year earlier. What did they pay? Well, they promised to never reapply for the Department of Defense for permission to sell life insurance at U.S. military installations. And further, it said that it would never sell life insurance again, period. The company agreed to pay a total of $16 million in penalties, cost, and restitution. Pay the government a $1 million civil penalty. Pay $527,000 to cover some of the costs of the government's investigation, including $21,000 for the services at Aon Consulting. Pump up the worthless life insurance policies by 6.5%, which came out to be about $2.735 million to certain former policy members. In total, the amount recovered 1 year earlier under the same circumstances with Academy totaled an estimated $160 million. Department of Justice only recovered $10 million for those affected by this company, and there is a question mark as to why it was only $57,000